might suggest, of course, that some people are never really happy, are they? Unless they're moaning. You know, you have to think about that, don't you? I'm sure we've all got friends like that, colleagues at work. Doesn't matter what they do for them or whatever, there's always a problem looming. Am I right? And this could be, of course, the same applied to Harry and Meghan, and in particular, His Majesty the King. Let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you today. And as ever, thank you so much for joining me. Yes, we're back in a brand new year, and I hope you all are going to keep yourselves safe and well. Do look after yourselves. Whatever you're doing, make sure that you look out for number one. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean that in a cruel way, but, you know, do remember to take care of yourselves. You know, I know I'm just moaning after this cold, but you know what I'm saying? Just have some fresh vitamin C, by the way. It's the best thing, isn't it? Fresh orange juice, not the ones out the boxes. You know, the ones you squeeze yourself. I know it's the pips. Get everywhere. Terrible, isn't it? But it's a better taste, isn't it? Original is always better, isn't it? You know, when you think it doesn't matter what they say in the boxes, if you make it yourself, at least you know what's in that stuff, don't you? And that's nature's remedy. I know, that's my lecture for today. Back as ever to your breaking roll story of the day. You know, when you think about it, as I say, it was one of the biggest hits over the festive period. We're talking, of course, about the King's speech, which rated over 8 million in the end, genuine watching people in real time. I don't know if you're like me, I can't understand all of this stuff, but, you know, follow up, catch up, hubs, all that sort of stuff. In real time in the United Kingdom, 8 million people. That's a big audience in this day and age to get people to sit down on a busy day at a certain time. And of course, he divided the nation with certain things that he was saying, but that's the point of the speech, is it not? What's interesting to note, though, that over in Montecito, as ever, things were never really to their liking. I thought His Majesty the King did a cracking thing of the removal of pictures on the side table that our late and wonderful monarch used to do. Everybody was craning their neck, looking to see which pictures were included and who was in and who was out. Now, Harry and Meghan did not expect, in fairness, to be mentioned or indeed spoke about in that particular speech, and you can understand that. But you see, the bigger problem was that, as ever, with Harry, he can find something that he's unhappy about. As ever, we have to say allegedly. You see, this points down to an earlier period in last year, should I say now, I'll have to get used to that, 2023, when Harry and Meghan graced their presence over in Dusseldorf, Germany for the Invictus Games. Oh, yes, you see. And the bottom line was that they felt that that particular topic, even just the mention of the good deeds and looking out for people and highlighting things, you know, where His Majesty the King was talking about issues like that. Well, they felt, according to this well-placed source, that that at least should have been referenced. After all, this was something that allegedly Prince Harry started well in the midst and bosom and loving kindness of the British monarchy. Now, it would have seemed odd, wouldn't it? Because how could you reference the Invictus Games without referencing Harry and Meghan? So clever marketing move by them. But of course, always ready to, as I say, find a glitch that they could say, well, at least His Majesty could have mentioned that. Now, the bottom line is, as we know, when Harry and Meghan were over in Dusseldorf in Germany, lots of people wanted to know why Prince William, or indeed the Princess of Wales, Catherine, were not coming over to be involved. That left a little bit of a murky ground. And you can also understand why His Majesty the King had to leave this particular issue out. But that doesn't mean that he wasn't proud of his youngest son, or indeed all of those wonderful people that took part in that spectacular games in Dusseldorf. But one would suspect, of course, that whatever His Majesty the King did for Harry right now, seemingly there's always some kind of, shall we say, misdemeanor attached. Was he wrong or right to not include that particular minor royal event in the royal calendar? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.